What is up, y'all? It's your boy Ken NY Sports, aka Rem. I'm here with Kayla Abreu. This is Bucket for Bucket with Kayla and Kenny. Welcome to the show, y'all. This is our very first one. We will be discussing women hoops, and I'm hyped to be here with my host, Kayla. Talk to him, Kayla. What you got?
Hey, what's up, y'all? Thanks for joining us. We decided to just have a little chat with you guys, speak hoops, NCAA, WNBA. We have it all here. Thank you guys for listening, and I can't wait for our first episode.
Yeah, I'm hyped because there's so much going on right now in the W. And when I say the W, I'm not just talking about professional, the WNBA. I'm talking about women's hoops. And I'm pretty sure something's going down in the Pee Wee Youth League with the little girls too, because women's hoops and women's sports has just been super, super hype and elating just to be around, just to even speak about. So I'm hyped that we even get a chance, an opportunity to get together and discuss like what's going on in
Women's
the world of
basketball right now, it's up and it's stuck. Literally, it's up and it's stuck. And
up and stuck.
it doesn't seem like it's slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah, same here. But before we even start this off, I want to say one thing to all basketball fans watching, that these things can be true at the same time. The women's game and the men's game can be good at the same time. One thing I don't want to see is people kind of creating that separation and that divide, especially right now with the NCAA women's tournament getting so much more viewership, the money's going up and everything like that. I feel like it's invited people to say certain stuff like, oh, nobody cares about the men's game and nobody cares about this, that, and the third. And some of the men are coming back like nobody cares about the women's game when it's all false. We care about basketball, and that's what it's about. Basketball is growing. Happy to see that the women are doing good. Happy to see that the men are still doing their thing. But at the end of the day, it's basketball. No divide, no separation.
No beef. We don't need beef.
We don't need no beef, all right? And then my last point is another thing that can be true is Angel Reese can be good at the same time as Caitlin Clark. Stop making a divide between them. They don't even play the same position, but stop making a divide. I'm so happy to see that women's basketball is growing and we have so many superstars, not just stars, but superstars up and coming. But speaking of superstars right now, the biggest superstar in women's basketball is Caitlin Clark, none other than Caitlin Clark. And I'm pretty sure, unless you live under a rock, I'm pretty sure you know about the offer. So let's talk about that offer real quick that Caitlin Clark got. Okay.
A huge offer, historic actually. $5 million was offered to Caitlin Clark by Ice Cube. As we know, he leads the Big Three League. It's a league mainly of retired NBA players. They have had women head coaches, Nancy Lieberman, Lisa Leslie. But the offer was $5 million for Caitlin Clark to play this season, about 8 games, 10 if her team makes the playoff. And what do you think about this offer? She's been getting a lot of hate. It's a lot of money.
First off, Ice Cube, if CC22 does not take that offer, I want to tell you that I identify as Caitlin Clark and I accept your okay? I accept.
I had the same thoughts. I'll suit up. I'll suit up and play all those retired players. I'll be out there breaking ankles because $5 million for 8 games. Yes, you bugging.
$5 million for 8 games. So I got a bunch of thoughts with this. First of all, I'm happy that this happened. Congratulations to Caitlin Clark for getting that offer. Congratulations to Ice Cube. But there's a couple things that can't happen. Apparently, the Big Three season is during the WNBA season.
Begins June 15th to be exact. June 15th
is when the Big Three starts. Okay, so yeah, so obviously if Caitlin Clark is drafted by the WNBA, she could not play for the Big Three and vice versa. So within the contracts, I'm pretty sure Ice Cube don't mind her playing for the WNBA and Big Three at the same time, but contractually with the WNBA, she cannot do that. I think this is huge. The reason why I think this is big is because one, I think Ice Cube set an alley-oop for her in a sense. I know Ice Cube is doing this for his business, for the growth of the Big Three.
I'm about to say that's a great business decision coming from Ice Cube, just knowing the amount of attention Caitlin Clark will bring to his league if she decides to play. So it's more of a business decision. But
But it's a business decision, just as the WNBA is making a business decision to allow Caitlin Clark into their doors. Like without these players, nobody's gonna take the time to pay attention. And here's the issue with the whole Ice Cube thing. Ice Cube is a direct competitor with the NBA and the WNBA, and that's why he's not gonna get. They're gonna continue to shoot down everything that Ice Cube does because he's in direct competition with the NBA and WNBA. He was trying to do stuff with the NBA, and they closed the door on him. And now he's has an opportunity to offer Caitlin Clark something, but it's gonna get backlash because one, he like I said, he's in competition. Two, you have all of these other players who are jealous, who are just like they feel a certain way. And I think about Lexi Brown, for example, with her comments on her podcast and pretty much saying, "Oh, Ice Cube, so there were no other women that you wanted to offer this deal to." And to that, I'll answer for Ice Cube. I'll say, no, there were no other women because there are no other women putting the impact on basketball that Caitlin Clark has done for these last 4 years. I'm not saying that Paige Beckers, Hannah Hidalgo, Aaliyah Boston, and those people had nothing to do with it, but Caitlin Clark brings it to the next level. So hell yeah, I'm gonna offer her. If I'm Ice Cube, I'm gonna offer her 5 million. And then the next reason why I say this is an alley oop is because you never take the first offer. If you're willing to come to me on the first offer and tell me you're willing to give me 5 million, I know you're probably willing to give me 10 million. You're just coming to me with a low ball offer. So
I mean, he
at the
did
end,
say in that interview that it was a very generous offer. So
yes, it was a very generous offer, but the thing is that 5 million, what Caitlin Clark is going to bring to Big Three basketball, that
yeah,
5 million is going to be nothing. It's going to be nothing. They'll make that 5 million back in like two, 3 games. So
especially if he
it's like,
decides
yo,
to not go to the WNBA, not be drafted by the number one, and play for the Big Three. I mean, it would be crazy the amount of fans and the amount of people watching the Big Three. I mean, people who have never watched. I mean, this 7 seasons deep, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never seen a Big Three game in my life.
I used to watch Big Three when it first came out. Over the time, I kind of like died down on it. I wanted to go to a couple Big Three because they play right there in Barclays, so it's like
Right.
right there. So I definitely might check a game or two out, but I watch their games and I like the competition. The only thing is, I wouldn't want Caitlin Clark playing with those guys because those are old ex NBA veterans. That even though they're old, they're strong. They play physical. You should see some of these games. They are physical as hell, and sometimes they be getting ready to get into a fight. So it's like I don't want Caitlin Clark in that
I
mess,
was just gonna
especially.
ask you that too. Like, what does that mean for Caitlin Clark? Does she even want to play these 40-year-old players, these retired players? We all know
Yeah,
she's very competitive. She loves the game, and playing in the WNBA will be more of her speed, you know?
it definitely will because she's already a big guard. She's like 6'2" or something like that. So to play in the Big Three, you're gonna go up against these 40-year-old big dudes, 200+ pounds and stuff. They're not gonna just let you go in and get a layup either. So, like I said, you don't want to be on the end of injuring Caitlin Clark or playing too physical with Caitlin Clark and being the most hated in the country because that you will be. And I don't want to see Caitlin Clark go and make this move for the Big Three and potentially get hurt or injured or anything happens and it kind of lowers the chances. If I am in the WNBA, I'm talking to her as much as possible. If I'm Aaliyah Boston, I'm like, girl, don't even sign that deal.
Mhm.
Selfishly, because I know it's the money's great, but what Caitlin Clark is gonna make in the long run is way greater than this $5 million offer. That's why I say don't take the first offer. Don't take the first offer. She's already making 3.1 million in NIL deals.
So with that being said, if Ice Cube does offer her, for example, 7 to 10, whatever the number is, another offer, would you tell her to take it? I don't know what kind of background she comes from, but it being me, or I know other WNBA players, if they were offered that 5 million, they would take it no brainer.
And that's
Not
why,
because
and
they
that's
won't make money in the WNBA, because she'll still have her NI deals, she'll still her NIL deals, she'll still have her sponsorships. But a rookie season is about what, $76,000?
yeah, that's the minimum. That's the minimum right now. But
Mhm.
to tell you the truth, Kay, like and this happens to so many people, and you see this often in the music industry, where a bunch of young kids, a bunch of people that look like you and me, who have come from nothing, and then they put these offers in our face, and it's like, yo, we jump and take them without even reading. And that's why that's why it's so cool to see that, one, she's not coming from that background. She's not coming from the gutter. She's not coming from the mud, but she already has money. So it's not like we're fiending for money over here. She, like I said, the fact that she got offered $5 million, she hasn't laced up sneakers to play professionally, and she got offered $5 million. There's a $10 to $15 million deal waiting for her, maybe a couple weeks after, or maybe next year. But with this said, I would take the high road, and like I would play hardball. Like, to tell you the truth, Caitlin Clark literally has the WNBA and Big Three in her hand, because she could just be like, "Yo, if you do, y'all want to get these contracts right? If I will wait until y'all get these contracts right, and I'll go play with Big Three until y'all get everything together." The CBA starts in 2025. The new TV deal and all of that stuff. Caitlin Clark is the key to all of that. Caitlin Clark is the key to everybody getting paid. So if I'm anybody, I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. Even if I don't like her, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut and sing her praises. I'm gonna sing her praises. I swear to you, if I'm a player in the WNBA, I want to see her be the Rookie of the Year. I want to see her potentially get MVP votes and stuff like that, because I know All-Star. She's gonna be at All-Star weekend. Imagine what it's gonna be like to see Sabrina Ionescu versus Caitlin Clark in a three-point shootout. That's like, at that point, I don't care about no Steph and Sabrina.
I was about to say, would you love to see part two of Steph versus Sabrina, and let it be Caitlin Clark versus Steph? Because we got a good an
We
outcome with men versus women. A lot of people were watching. It was entertaining, to say the least. And it
Hell
was
yeah,
keep it up this year.
hell yeah. I would love to see that, but for me, I can argue that Caitlin Clark versus Sabrina might be bigger than Steph versus Sabrina, because of, like, these are two of the most prolific shooters in the W, and they hold their own weight, and they hold their own weight against men. So I'm excited to see what she's gonna bring to the table. The only thing I don't want is no hating ass WNBA players to just try to like rain on her parade or anything like that.
But to Lexi Brown's defense, that you mentioned her earlier, Ice Cube had said in an interview that he was doing it so that he was offering her this deal to avoid them going overseas to play. And that's why she had mentioned, oh, so you just thought of Caitlin Clark now? Like, there's no other player who you could have offered it to. And I thought it was distasteful from his part, because you're not doing it to help or to prevent players from going overseas. You're not. And shout out to those countries who do give an opportunity for our W players to make money in the off season, which is a huge bag. A lot of people, China, Greece, a lot of different countries that pay very well for our players to go overseas. We know we've had a lot of incidents. That's why a lot of players decided this season to not go overseas. But I don't want him to make it seem like he's doing us a favor, you know?
It's not. I don't think he made it seem like he's doing anybody a favor. I feel like everybody takes words and they like start to mix it up, because it's part of the plan. Again, this is a business, and he gave out one of the reasons why this is good, because at the end of the day, yes, it's giving other players an opportunity not to have to go overseas and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, there was no player who really gave him a benefit to say, hey, I want to draft a WNBA player and offer you this deal to play, because there was no WNBA player who really had the magnitude and the following that Caitlin Clark had. Like,
I agree. Caitlin Clark is her. Like, we can't be mad.
like
Caitlin Clark is
so
her.
yeah, so why get upset and why pose these questions when Lexi Brown? I think that was a dumb question, and I think that just shows exactly what the disconnect of not knowing the business side of things, because it's a business. It's a business. So like he'll probably lose money offering Lexi Brown or somebody $5 million to play in the Big Three, and nobody don't know who you are, but everybody and their grandma knows who Caitlin Clark is. So
Yeah.
I think we got to realize how much of an alley he just threw, and him even saying something like this, it starts bringing questions like, yo, can the women play together with the men? One thing that I want to point out before we end this topic is Team USA practice and the New York Liberty as well. In their practices, if you notice, their practice squad is all men. It's all men. They're literally playing against men. I have videos and you see them going up and down. I know the men aren't going playing like trying to kill them or anything, but they're playing against men. They're playing against that physical.
College programs also have is also an all men practice squad. South Carolina plays against all men as well in their practice squad.
So it's like, why do some of these people just get like, oh, they're like, no, this can happen. This can absolutely happen. So
and what do you wish from these WNBA players who have taken it to Twitter, showing their feelings about this contract? I feel like they really need to help start supporting each other. This has been going way too long, like bringing each other's down, starting with when Breanna Stewart won the MVP, how some players were with their distasteful tweets. Also, when Sabrina Ionescu was on the cover of 2K, a lot of players came at her head. And I feel for Caitlin, like she hasn't even played one professional game and she has this huge target on her back.
It's to me it's distasteful. I hate to see it. And then you know what the argument is? It always comes into a color thing because as obviously Breanna Stewart, Caitlin Clark, Sabrina Ionescu, they're all white. And at the end of the day, they've all had super good opportunities versus some of these other players. And you look at Sabrina with the Kobe Bryant, and then now her sneakers. Her sneakers are identical to the Kobe. Hold on one second. Let me show you something. Her sneakers.
Yeah. Go get them. But I mean, the NBA has really been backing up her sneakers.
Are almost identical. These are my Kobe's. Her sneakers are almost identical to the Kobe's. They're a little bit beat up. I used to play ball in these a lot, but they are identical. Like everything, and then their relationship and everything. So everybody's Jewel Lloyd's the goal.
Before she even came into the league, when she was in Oregon, their relationship was huge, and it was very huge in the media. How Kobe was co-signing her, and that helped her. Later on with NIL deals and with Nike. That her relationship with Kobe is what alley-ooped her for that sneaker deal with Nike.
And I think some of these WNBA players, I feel like some of them do have the right to pose some of the questions that they pose about, does it have something to do with color and stuff like that? But at the end of the day, I want you to just look at the body of work that these girls are doing, the body of work that Breanna Stewart did, 4 straight championships. She deserves the sneaker. She deserves certain stuff. Sabrina Ionescu, the leader in triple doubles in both men's and women's, the support she got from Kobe, and then Caitlin Clark now, like all of them are doing great stuff.
And then comes the argument of A'ja Wilson, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time MVP, 2-time champion at a young age. Is like, why not me?
She's huge, and I understand that, but also, I'm not saying this disrespectfully, but what has A'ja Wilson done? And when I say that outside of basketball, in terms of how much attention is A'ja Wilson bringing to the game of basketball on the next level? Because she's big.
Is the New York Times bestseller not enough?
That's cool, but she's a New York Times bestseller at 27 years old, as she's in the WNBA and this, that, and the third. These players were before. I mean, South Carolina did their thing with A'ja Wilson, but it's like what Breanna Stewart, what Caitlin Clark are doing are kind of more so historic feats, and they're bringing more attention to the game. So for me, it's like, I don't think A'ja Wilson brings as much attention to the game as Caitlin Clark does. Even Breanna Stewart right now, she's not bringing enough more attention to the game than Caitlin Clark. So it's like,
Breanna Stewart won probably the best college career, 4 national champions, and Caitlin Clark is still being put over Breanna Stewart in the GOAT conversation of best college players ever.
You know why? Because UConn is a program. They're trying to say that UConn is the program, and they're trying to discredit what Breanna Stewart brought to that program, which is false. Breanna Stewart is one of the GOATs of all time in college basketball. But recency bias. People who see stuff recently, they quickly forget. They quickly forget Candace Parker in college. They quickly forget Cheryl Mill. They quickly forget Shamika Whole Squad and all of those people because it's recency bias. It's like, what have you done for me lately? That's what people are on. So I think that's one of the craziest things ever. But in terms of getting sneakers and opportunities and everything like that, it's like, what impact do you bring to the game? Does it make sense for me to sign you to a sneaker deal? Are these sneakers going to sell? Like for instance, do you think Asia Wilson sneakers and like just hypothetically, do you think Asia Wilson sneakers will outsell Sabrina Ionescu sneakers? Like just thinking about
No,
popularity.
no, just the market Sabrina plays in, being in New York City, probably the home to sneakers, to the sneaker culture. Not only that, this season, her playing against Steph, the amount of notoriety that brought. No, if we're being
You're
honest.
not you're not gonna win that. You're not. Brianna Stewart's not winning that battle. Brianna Stewart has
The
her own
Pumas,
signature
yeah, no.
sneakers, and don't nobody care about no Pumas. No, let me not say that because I own
We
Pumas,
love the brand, yeah, but I know what you meant.
but nobody's like looking for those. And the crazy part is they advertise Sabrina sneaker as the first unisex sneaker. Brianna Stewart sneaker is a unisex sneaker
I
too.
mean,
Both
any sneaker is unisex if you
it's
really think about
unisex. So it's
it.
like, yo, what are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? But I don't know. It's different.
I mean, Sabrina has had a lot of help, but her sneaker speaks for itself. The amount of NBA players wearing her sneaker just shows how great of a sneaker it
That's
is. Yeah, no, every single colorway, a lot of new colorways that NBA players have been making themselves and rocking their sneaker, actually performing in the shoe, just lets you know.
I'm wearing a Sabrina wrist. Like, I'm this is Sabrina right here. Like, come
Definitely
on,
really hard.
come on. So this shirt that I'm wearing right here, right? It's a game changer shirt. It's a game changers, and right here it has Brittany Griner. It got Cheryl Miller. It got Lisa Leslie. It got it
The
got
goats,
Teresa Weatherspoon. It got Shamika Whole Squad. Got Catch.
the
And who am I
New York
missing?
City legend.
Yeah, it's straight legends, but these are game changers. They're gonna have to add Caitlin Clark to this shirt. Like she's a game changer. You gotta add Brianna Stewart to the shirt. She's a game changer. You gotta add Sabrina Ionescu to the shirt. They are game changers. They are all game changers. So it's like, we let's show these ladies love and protect your meal ticket, which is Caitlin Clark, ladies. Protect your meal ticket. That she's the one. She's the one. And I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm going to tell you this: Caitlin Clark is going to win. This is my bold prediction. She's gonna win a title within her first 3 years in the W. That Indiana team is stacked.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I could second that because of her team, not because of Caitlin Clark by herself, but because of her team having Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Nalissa Smith, Lexi
Yeah.
Hall. Yeah, they have a squad there. Who
And
else? Grace.
condolences to Kelsey Mitchell. My fault to cut you off, but condolences to Kelsey Mitchell. I seen a post from Indiana that she lost her father. So condolences to Kelsey Mitchell, to you and your family. Sending nothing but love to y'all. But yeah, that Indiana Fever squad is stacked. Like they got
Yeah,
ballers.
they have a lot of ballers in that squad. How do you think Lynn Dunn feels about that big three offer though? Because I know she was jumping up and down when Indiana
Got
got that first pick. So
I don't think Lynn Dunn is phased. I don't think she's phased in anything because it's like one, she knows. I don't think Caitlin Clark is a selfish individual, and Caitlin Clark knows that she has the world in her hands right now. She has the game in her hands. She has the ability to completely change the trajectory of the WNBA and women's sports. So I don't think people are looking at that and taking it seriously because of the fact that one, it's just an offer, and two, like I don't think she's a selfish player at all. I think she's gonna embrace the fact that like the world is on her back right now. So I'm looking forward to see whatever she does.
I mean, if I'm Caitlin, I'm going to the W, man. I wouldn't pass up that opportunity of playing next to Aaliyah Boston, a generational talent, won Rookie of the Year, became the first rookie since Candace Parker to make it to the All-Star game. Caitlin could be the next.
Yeah.
Same with a veteran like Kelsey Mitchell as well. Nalissa Smith is a dog as well. Yeah, nah. I wouldn't pass up that opportunity. I'm going to Indiana, being able to create a legacy there. And like you said, winning a championship in the first 3 years, first 4 years, it seems very reasonable if Caitlyn gets drafted by
Very
India.
possible. Very possible. And another thing too, they just announced the Team USA roster, and you see Caitlin Clark has a spot on that roster.
That's another one that had Twitter in shambles.
Like, what? Why is everybody in shambles? There's always one rookie or one college player on the USA roster. So why they like Sabrina a couple years ago? It was like, why do people do that? How many like people are talking about Paige Beckers and this Paige Beckers will be there next year? I guarantee. I can almost guarantee you Paige Beckers will probably be there next year if healthy. But yo, CC, first of all, that roster was Las Vegas Aces and friends because you know they have like almost everybody on the Aces. We got two New York Liberty players. We got Stewie and Sabrina on the team. Um, Aaliyah Boston, obviously, and now Caitlin Clark is on that team. Like that team is stacked. That team is stacked. So, I think it's gonna be dope, and it's nice for her to have this experience before she gets into the WNBA because this is that season, that long season that you got to deal with Olympic basketball and professional basketball. So now,
Hopefully,
I
she can
guess,
make some friends in
yeah, she's
USA as well.
she's gonna it's either make some friends or cook some friends. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. But yo, this I think this is a crazy, crazy time. Crazy time for her.
Yeah, man, this is insane. Enough of Caitlin Clark. Moving on to
Enough of Caitlin Clark. Don't say enough of Caitlin Clark. You're gonna get us canceled. There's never enough of Caitlin Clark. Don't say that to WNBA fans. All right? But
yeah, don't get us canceled now on our first episode. That's how we
we're
want.
not trying to get canceled on the first episode. But yeah.
That West Virginia game, and we're gonna stick to Caitlin Clark. Actually, stay on the Caitlin Clark topic. West Virginia Iowa game. It was a close one. It looked like Iowa did not have it in control. West Virginia kept fighting back, but it was the refs. People had a lot to say about the refs. Even Damian Lillard tweeted how awfully ref this game was. She was receiving a lot of calls. A lot of calls.
Because she earned them calls. She earned them calls. I
That leads to
can't.
the question: is Caitlin Clark, because of her status, is she receiving favoritism?
Of course, Caitlin Clark is receiving
A
favoritism.
LeBron favoritism?
Yeah, she's the LeBron James right now. She has the most hype of everything. Like she earned it. She earned it. And I'm not saying that. Like honestly, I love the fight that West Virginia put up and everything, but it behooves NCAA basketball to have Caitlin Clark in the tournament. Okay, so I don't want to see Caitlin Clark getting knocked out in no 32 or 64 first round, second round. If she's going to get knocked out, I want to see her knocked out in the semis, in the championship game, in the Elite Eight, something closer. Do not make me see her lose to no West Virginia. And then I got to see, I'm sorry. I like West Virginia and everything that they've done. But for basketball, we need Caitlin Clark.
Calls are calls. Like they were blatantly not calling these fouls on West Virginia.
Look,
West Virginia was getting brought down to the floor. It was a beatdown, and they were not getting calls.
physicality. But look, here's what I'm gonna say to this. It's not like it's just for Iowa or Caitlin Clark. The college refs are really bad. They suck. Like they really suck.
That leads to like is home court, like should there be a neutral site, especially for the tournament? These refs want being at home in Iowa with the fans behind them. They want Iowa to win, of course. Like you said, it's a popularity and to be in the further round.
But look at it this way: the Super Bowl is the Super Bowl a neutral site? It's not. It's not a neutral site. It's well, it is the neutral
Technically,
site.
it is because it's picked before you find out what team
Yeah,
played in the Super Bowl.
you're right. It is a neutral site. So, but my thing with that is like it don't matter. Fans are gonna travel. If Iowa fans is really about it, they're gonna travel to whatever
And they
site
will because they don't
and they
play.
make it to see their girl play. And other like so it's like, I don't really care about the whole neutral site, this, that, and the third, or so and so. But it's like, what is your fan base gonna bring? What do the people want to see? But at the end of the day, college refs are horrible. They really bad. I've been hearing about it all year, this year, all year last year, and we're gonna continue to hear it. It's not something that's just gonna be
I
one
agree
and
with you. Neutral sites shouldn't be prioritized just because these seeds have earned the right to play at home. They've been playing well all season in order to get that chance to play
Yeah.
at home.
Home
So if you want to play at
advantage.
home, just have a better record, play better throughout the season.
Exactly.
That's all you can really.
Exactly.
There's
At the
nothing.
end of the day, refs is like, yeah, the refs are gonna be refs. The refs gonna be refing. We gonna see how it goes, but they're horrible
On a
across the.
t-shirt, the rest are going to be reffing.
Yo, refs gonna be refing. Yo, that might be you. I'm gonna make a t-shirt now. You got see, yeah, we gonna
Yeah,
put the t-shirt.
that's a good one. Coming out
What
next.
else?
Make sure to check it out on our website. Refs are going to be reffing.
Refs gonna be refing. We gonna do that.
Moving on, we had legendary coach Gino Auriemma had some bold statements about his guard, Paige Beckers, who decided to stay one more year in UConn. Bold move by Paige. As you know, she was injured all last year. Her freshman year, she won National Player of the Year. Heck of a player. And he went out for Paige's defense. What do you think on his comments?
I love his comments because let me see if I can find the comment real quick because I wanna say it. I want to say it for I want to say it verbatim because of the fact that I believe him. He said I believe him, and I
And it
want to
was
see
crazy.
exactly.
Not only Gino came out with the comments, so did Don Staley. Don Staley went on record and backed up Gino.
Because she absolutely is. Paige Beckers is, and the reason why I love the move that she did to take the time to come back and stay one more year is so she could get her rightful shine. She was going to be in the shadows with the whole Caitlin Clark saga this year. Caitlin Clark, deservedly so, is the number one pick, but it's argued that Paige Beckers could be a better player, and I'm not shitting on nobody. Caitlin is a better shooter, of course, but Paige Beckers on both ends of the court
Yeah,
is
she's a
real.
defensive beast.
She's a
She
good
plays both.
defender.
Two-way player,
She's
yeah.
she's a good facilitator. She's a scorer. Like she's a threat. She's a triple threat on all levels. So it's like, hell yeah, Paige Beckers is the best. And I agree with you 100%, Gino, Coach Gino. So her staying one more year, rightfully so, because next year is Paige Becker's year. The way that we going crazy about Caitlin Clark now, that's how we should practice that same energy with Paige Beckers because she's the one. She's the one.
And that opens up the question to, does that extra year benefit players? Like I had said earlier, Paige lost a year due to injury. This year she was healthy. You see how she's been playing. But AZ Fudd was also injured, one of her best friends and her teammate, and she really wanted to play with Fudd, and that led to her decision to staying another year. But other players like Deja Kelly, who played her last game, due to the loss to South Carolina, she was exposed by the freshman Malaysia for Wiley. Malaysia had like 20 on her, a bunch of steals. And do you think players should take that extra year and stay and develop?
If they feel like they're ready, I would stay. If you feel like you're ready, I would go.
Because I feel like this
Obviously,
tournament has exposed a lot of these seniors who were planning to declare for the draft by freshmen.
so that's another thing. So here's what I'm gonna say to that because I'm gonna just move this up to the WNBA real quick. Thinking about the WNBA, when I hear that, I automatically think about the New York Liberty. The New York Liberty was the number one team on defense last year. Fast forward to the playoffs, they did okay. They made adjustments, but when you got to the finals, it was a completely different ball game because it's really all about matchups. So you had Courtney Vandersloot, you had Sabrina Ionescu, Benija Laney, who are all decent. They're not great defenders, but Benija Laney's a great
Yeah,
defender.
great defense.
Courtney Vandersloot is a good defender. I think people give her too much discredit. Sabrina, not so much.
But when you
But
put them against Jackie Young, Kelsey Plum, it's a different
you said
story.
my point. It's a different story. So Deja Kelly has been doing everything that she can all season. She got cooked by a freshman or two one time by a really good. It's not like she got cooked by somebody who's not nice. She got cooked by the Kyrie Irving of women's basketball. So it's like okay,
Yeah.
that's understood. all that means is, oh shit, I gotta work on something. I have to work on something next year, and I have to make sure I'm ready for to get to this next level. So I don't think it's a situation of like, oh yo, I got cooked in the tournament. I gotta stay back. I can't go to the WNBA. I'm not ready. Hell yeah, you ready for the WNBA, Deja Kelly and whoever it is, because y'all been doing this all y'all effing life. This is your thing. You've been doing this all your life. So don't sell your self short. Keep putting in the work and keep continuing to do what you do, just so that these next couple months you are ready to transition into the WNBA.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about this is that their transition period is so short. They just getting out of the tournament. A week after the tournament is the
They have
WNBA draft.
about a month to really get
And
ready,
I
and then
don't
they straight
think
to
it's a
training camp.
month. Exactly. So it's like you straight to training camp. So you got to be
And
mentally
training camp ain't
prepared.
no joke. You got to show everything you have because you can be cut. It doesn't matter if you get drafted.
Right. The hardest league to make it into. So it's like we have to highlight
That's
these
what I'm saying.
ladies.
It's like, do you want to take your chances in training camp? Especially depends where you get drafted. If you get drafted to a stacked team like the Liberty or the Aces, you know, it's tough.
Yeah, you're really gonna have to
Get to
put
being
in a lot
drafted.
of time.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, it's either you're gonna do it this year or you're gonna do it next year. You're gonna have to pick a year. It's gonna
Yeah.
have to happen. You're gonna have to go all in. This is the hardest league to get into. Hardest league in all professional leagues and sports. The WNBA is the hardest league to get into. That is that simple. Like, so they're gonna have to put in that work.
Players. Um, well, in 2 years, Golden State 2025, the Golden State team.
Next year. It's not 2 years.
Year.
That's next.
Next year.
Yeah.
But then there'll be an uneven number of teams. You know, my famous question when I was asking the New York Liberty fans, what other city deserves a WNBA team? So give me your ideas. I mean, I'm going for Philadelphia. I want a team in Philly.
Ooh.
As you know, I went to high school in PA, even though I was born and raised in New York. I did a couple years in PA, and I would love to have a team in Philadelphia.
For me, it's not a city, it's a country. Toronto. I want to see a team in Toronto.
And
I also do like you know it's gonna be crazy. We have this in a couple of sports where there's two city teams. I kind of want another team in New York City. I want another team in New
I
York
mean, you're
City.
being a little selfish now. There's too
I
many
am. I
cities in
know.
the
I am.
US without a team.
I want another team in another team in. I want two teams in Los Angeles and two teams in New York, just like in in like the
But I
NBA and.
mean, LA, they're not even playing at Crypto. They're playing in Long Beach. So it's
Yeah,
like
they play in Long
you
Beach.
can't have my
They
girls comfortable and playing, and you can't even have another team.
yeah, you're right. You're
I
right.
understand
But
New York or Las Vegas, they got their girls comfortable, but LA,
listen,
why you driving all the way to Long Beach to catch a when there's two stadiums? Because the Clippers are opening up a stadium.
yeah, they got the forum. But another city I'm thinking about that, well, Seattle already has, Indiana,
I like Charlotte too, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte. Oh yeah, Charlotte's not bad. Charlotte's not bad. San Antonio. I know that's the Las Vegas Aces, but San Antonio, like that's a good city for that. That's a good city for a team. Like they
I
really
wouldn't mind
follow the.
Texas having two teams. You know, Texas
Yeah.
big in size. They can definitely have two teams. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there since we're gonna have an uneven amount of teams next year. But I heard they're announcing another team soon. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna be 14 by 2025.
That's good. That's good. That well, it might not by 2025 because they're gonna have to do an expansion draft. So it's gonna have to be like
Right.
two. Like I doubt they're gonna do two expansion drafts in 1 year.
Yeah, no.
That
Two
would be deadly. You cannot do that. I would be so pissed to see two of my players to lose two players on my squad. Because again, people don't realize expansion draft means that you're about to lose one of your players on your team. So
whoever's
um
drafting players from the Las Vegas Aces, I know they happy.
yeah, they stacked the Aces, the Liberty, the Sun, the Storm. Like those teams, they gonna be happy to just chip away at
And we
those
should have
players.
had an expansion draft. That would be good. We could. In one of the episodes, we could have like our own team and draft what players we would draft to our new team.
Oh yeah, that would be dope. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah,
That
that
would
would
be
be a dope
yeah.
episode. That'd be a
And
dope
see who
episode.
would win, like my team versus your team. See
Yeah,
who
yeah, let's do that for sure. I like that.
that's valid. should we talk a little bit about the games and the future matchups? Today, the Sweet 16 starts today.
Everybody dancing. So we trying to get we at the Sweet 16 now. Everybody trying to get to the Elite Eight. So yeah, let's talk about some of these games.
We could
It
start
starts today.
Regional 1 Albany with my squad, South Carolina, of course, taking on
Uh,
4. Indiana, man, my squad put up a dominant game against North Carolina in the second round. They won 88-41. Not too much on the game, as you can see, it was just a beat down. But moving forward, South Carolina, I wanted to point this out. They had 51 bench points. 51. North Carolina only had 41 points in total.
their bench outscored them. You know, another crazy thing is that in the second half, if South Carolina went scoreless in the entire second half, meaning if they scored 0 points in the entire second half, they still would have won the game. That's nuts.
No, that's insane.
That's nuts. That's nuts. You said second, like the first and second round was a beatdown. I don't think they haven't been challenged yet. Like, so that's the only thing that's scary about this for South Carolina is that I don't feel like they've been challenged yet. They don't have any scare, anything. Like LSU is the best competition I've seen against them thus far.
I mean, Tennessee during the conference.
Yeah, Tennessee. That was a good one. Yeah, that was a good one. But it's just like, yo, that one game, if you get caught with your pants at your ankles, it might be a wrap for you. So, but right now they just cruising through everybody. So I don't know. I really don't know. I don't see no flaws
I mean, this is why South Carolina is the favorite. Like you can argue their bench is just as great as the starting 5. I mean, Malaysia for Wiley came off the bench. What was her? She had 20 points, 9 rebounds, 3 steals, 3 shots off the bench.
It's still crazy to me that she comes off the bench. Like, and I have to remind myself, like, yo, she's a rookie. She's gonna take her time. But yo, we're gonna see this woman starting for like the next 3 years after this year. Like, it's crazy. Like they stack, man. They stack. Real deals. Let's see.
On South Carolina, Indiana, Friday, 3:20, 5 p.m. on ESPN. So keep a lookout for that matchup. Their possible Elite 8 matchup is Notre Dame. Notre Dame plays Oregon State. So if Notre Dame wins that matchup, it's possible to see South Carolina, Notre Dame for that Elite 8, which I still have South Carolina for because Notre Dame is on a 6-player rotation. I mean, you know that's my squad, but Notre Dame is playing on a 6-player rotation. We know they have Hannah Hidalgo, who's a beast defensively, and I would love to see that matchup between Malaysia for Wiley and we know we saw it at the first game of the season. The opener in Paris was Notre Dame versus South Carolina, but you know they were still freshmen. They were still getting into their. Now later in the season, it's a different ball game. They're a different beast with all the experience they have had. What do you feel about that matchup? That possible Elite 8 matchup?
That's the matchup I want to see. I want to see that. So I need Notre Dame to beat Oregon State today at 2:30 Eastern so that they can advance to see South Carolina. Because I want to see Hannah versus Malaysia, even though it's not going to be like that. But I want to see like they seasoned now. They went through a full season. They're ready. Notre Dame, even though they play with a 6-woman rotation, that's okay because some of the top teams in all professional sports in men's basketball, women's basketball, the championship teams, the rotations, they get shorter and shorter as you advancing around. So it's usually a 8-person rotation, but 6 people is kind of crazy. We'll see if they can find any help on the bench. I think they're going to need some bench help if you're going against South Carolina because, again, 50 bench points. You can't be coming at me with 6 players thinking you're going, nah, it's not going to happen like that. But I want to see that. That would be dope.
So that's it for Regional 1 in Albany. Let's move to Regional 4 in Portland. We had Texas and Alabama. That was a great game. Texas won 65-54. They move on. The number 1 Texas to play number 4 Gonzaga.
Texas
number 35, Madison Booker, wearing Kevin Durant's old number. We know Kevin Durant wore 35 for Texas. He was there in attendance supporting He was right behind the bench. He was talking a lot of smack. Love to see it. Love to see the support. Madison Booker is also a freshman. She had 21 points and 10 rebounds.
Good move. That's good. That's good. So it's going to be NC State, Stanford. That's going to be today as well, at 7:30 Eastern. So that's going to be good.
What do you
And
got
then who
coming
else?
out of those matchups in a possible Elite Eight matchup? Do you have? I have Texas and NC State.
You got NC State upsetting Stanford.
I mean, the way NC State played against Tennessee, I see them beating Stanford.
You know what? They definitely could, because they do have that dog in them. They for sure got that dog in them. For me, I would love to see a number. I would love to see a number one Texas versus Stanford in that thing. I want to see number one and number two go at it respectively. I wasn't too crazy about the regional four, to be honest with you. I'm not too crazy about that, the regional four, but I think Stanford should come out of that if they survive
The NC
NC State today. So we'll see.
a little bit about that game before they made it to Sweet 16, the Stanford and Iowa. You had Iowa upsetting Stanford. I
I
remember
did. I did. Yeah.
it was close. They went into overtime, but
Yeah.
it was Kiki Iriafen, 41 points for
Yeah.
Stanford. He really carried Stanford. Cameron Brink was in foul trouble early.
Because
And
she has to go up against Audie Crooks. Like, oh, like,
that's
hell
what
yeah, you're gonna be in foul trouble.
I mean, Audie Crooks held her own. She didn't have a big game like her
Like a
day where she had 40, but she had 10 points, 8 rebounds, decent
I'm
for
I'm gonna tell you this, Kay. I'm gonna tell you this about that game, because I feel like it should have been an upset. It really should have been an upset. But I feel like, just like we was talking about Caitlin Clark getting calls, I think Cameron Brink was getting a hell of a lot of calls too. Because there was a lot of times where I'm just like, yo, that's a foul. How come Audie Crooks is not going to the line right now? I know she's big, she plays physical, but I thought what's her name? Cameron, with the verticality, keeping her hands straight. But there were certain times she would knock down and swipe down, and they wouldn't
but
call. And I'm like,
she was in foul trouble early because of that. She couldn't keep, her hands straight up. And that's why she didn't have a good scoring game. She had a bad game, to be honest. Because she was in foul trouble early, she couldn't really get into her groove. But yeah, like you said, Audie was doing her big one on Cameron.
and another thing too, with Cameron, I like her because she seems like a real professional and veteran, in the sense of, like, okay, I don't have it going, I might not have it going offensively, but defense, you're gonna get this defensive work, whether if I'm in foul trouble or not. She put in the defensive work. She's respectful. She's fiery. And after the game, I like the support that she gave Audie Crooks. She whispered in her ear, like, yo, you're so good. You are going to be so good. And
Word
giving
for
her
word, she
that
said,
extra
"You're so
motivation.
fucking good." She was hyped up. She was hyping her up,
like,
and I love that.
like,
Like, yeah, being a senior, about to be drafted into the WNBA, making sure the freshmen hear it and showing the love, giving her flowers. Yeah, I definitely respect
I love that. I
Cameron.
love that 100%.
So moving on, like we said, a possible Elite Eight matchup, Texas or NC State. You got Texas and Stanford, so we'll see how that goes. We'll find out. Tonight they play at 10 p.m. NC State and Stanford play at 7:30. Great
Who
matchup.
play at 10 p.m.?
Texas and
I
Gonzaga
will.
play at 10
I
p.m.
will not be up for that.
Yeah, I mean these late games are ridiculous. But moving on to Regional 2 in Albany, we have number 1 Iowa, number 5 Colorado. They play tomorrow on ABC at 3:30. I mean, that's gonna be a good one. As we know, Colorado upset LSU at the beginning of the season. Colorado, they're a squad.
Colorado was the ones, right? I forgot they was the ones who did get that upset. Do you think they could bring that same energy to Iowa? Do you think they come in with some upset energy
I think they
to?
can. I think they can for sure.
Oh my gosh, that should be a game. That should be a game. But I'm calling Iowa. I want Iowa to win. You know why I want Iowa to win. But I'm calling Iowa. Like Colorado, they tough, they chippy. But we need Iowa to step it up and be strong with this one, and be ready for this matchup, because it's just going to be a big one. It's gonna be a big one.
And the winner of that game takes on the winner of number 2 UCLA versus 3 LSU. That's at 1 p.m. on ABC. So that's right before that matchup, also on ABC tomorrow.
That's
UCLA
a great.
had a scare against Creighton last round. They barely won. They actually made the comeback. LSU also came back from a 4-point deficit against Middle Tennessee. So two teams that struggled a little bit in the first round facing each other. What do you think about that matchup, LSU UCLA?
I like this matchup because I don't know who to go with because both of them, like you said, they struggled a little bit. LSU, they got to get it together. They have so much stuff going on, whether if it's with Kim Mulkey, with Angel Reese, and this, that, and the third. The team, there's always something going on with them. So they better get it together because UCLA could punch them in the mouth. UCLA, I'm gonna always talk about, highlight, and speak about Charisma Osborne. I love everything about Charisma Osborne. She's a baller. She's a baller. She's tough. She's gritty. She's a team player. So if they get that elite version of Charisma Osborne to put pressure on Haley Van Lith and cook them, I first of all I think UCLA is going to win the guard battle. It's going to be a situation where they might have to end up starting Flage in the second half again, but
Did Kiki
UCLA.
Rice is gonna be Flage?
Say that again.
Kiki Rice, you're saying that UCLA is gonna win the guard battle, so you're looking at Kiki Rice.
I'm looking at Kiki Rice. I'm looking at Charisma Osborne. I think that they're just tougher. Like I feel like they're a little bit tougher. And LSU, they get into their heads a lot. It's them against themselves mostly, but it should be a good one. I really don't care who wins this one, but I told you for selfish reasons, I do want to see LSU advance because I want to see that possible Elite Eight
Of course.
matchup of
Everyone
LSU versus Iowa, the rematch. Shit.
want to see that rematch. Everyone wants to see the rematch. Iowa, LSU. I agree with you. We could go, either way for this matchup. UCLA, LSU. LSU last season, all of their wins until the championship game were ugly wins. It was like fought out till the end battles. Yeah, there were a lot of gritty wins. Literally, the only game where they had a substantial lead was that championship game.
Yeah.
Where they came out fiery from the gate.
Oh
But
yeah. Exactly.
yeah, last season their road to the tournament was tough, also being a third seed. So I feel like they have experience. They can beat UCLA if they really play together. Flage had a great game. She had 21 points last game. Angel is always gonna Angel double double no matter
Yeah,
what.
double
Anisha,
machine.
Angel had a double double, but Anissa Morrow was the one leading in rebounds. So in the paint, it's hard to
Yeah,
play against LSU. They're tough.
it's
They want
cooked.
to be, like you said, when they're not in their heads, LSU is a problem. So we're moving it up on to Regional 3 in Portland. Number 1
This
UC versus Baylor. That's also tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. on ESPN. And the next set is UConn, number 3 UConn against number 7 Duke. That's gonna be a heck of a game. Duke
so
up.
regional 2 and regional 3, those might be my favorite regions, regional 2 and regional 3, because imagine getting to see Paige Beckers versus Juju Watkins. And
Must see
yo,
TV. Must see TV.
please,
We're praying to the
ladies, please.
basketball gods right now.
I'm praying to the basketball gods. Please. I want to see USC versus UConn. That would be epic. Epic level. Yo, I don't even know. I'm hyped right now because it's
Yeah,
like,
no,
yo,
that's a
be
matchup.
so mad. I'm gonna be so mad if I do not get to see Iowa versus LSU, South Carolina versus Notre Dame, Stanford versus Texas, and USC versus UConn in the Elite Eight. That's the storybook Elite Eight right there. That's just like, please let that happen. Basketball gods, referees, I don't care who has to make it happen, who I need to make a call to. Please let this happen. Let these be the Elite Eight matchups because it'll just be great for basketball.
Yeah,
I'm
I
hype about
think
it.
that's every basketball fan's dream. Those matchups right there.
Yeah, for real.
Tips. Comment below. DM us your Elite Eight. Make sure to fill out the second chance bracket, I believe, before 2:30 today.
The second chance bracket.
Starting from the Sweet 16, because everyone's bracket is busted. Men and females, there's not one bracket standing.
The second chance bracket. There will not be a third. Get your second chance in before 2:30 today. Well, the New York Liberty one, that's just them a partnership with My9 and Fox 5, so all of their games are gonna be on. But I did see that tweet about that post about the WNBA possibly breaking away from their current TV deal with ESPN and ABC to get a new TV deal. And like I just mentioned that because I feel like the Liberty are a huge part of that with that broadcast deal that they made with My9 and Fox 5, very first of its own. But what do you think about the current TV deal? Do you think that the WNBA should like try to figure something new out in terms of where the games are played, where the games are accessed? Because you can't just turn on your TV and get tuned into a WNBA game, and we got to do better about that. So what do you think about that?
No, of course, I would love them to make a new deal and make the games more accessible. I have WNBA League Pass, so I watch every single game on the app. For those who don't have the app and want to watch it on TV, I definitely agree. I believe that they should make a new contract with what sporting
I
broadcast?
would do I would do Turner Sports. I would do
TBS?
Turner Sports.
Okay, Turner.
That's TBS, TNT. Turner Sports is pretty good. If not, I would go to those little Amazon Primes and all of these things that because they played Amazon. The Commissioner's Cup was on Amazon Prime and stuff like that.
And
So
then how about those folks who don't want to pay a membership for Amazon Prime, who already have cable, already have TV? They can just download the WNBA app and pay the $25 and go straight to the league instead of playing like second.
yeah. So the WNBA app, the reason why I have an issue with the WNBA app is because I had the WNBA app too. I have it, but you can't watch New York games on the WNBA app because of the TV deals that New York had with Yes. So if you try to watch a WNBA New York Liberty app on the WNBA, a New York Liberty game on the WNBA app is going to tell you it's restricted. So that's the only issue I have with that. But now that they got the My9 and Fox 5, you
Yeah,
don't
I'm
even need
sticking to
cable.
I'm sticking to the WNBA app because I could just watch it on my nine. Like you said, you don't need cable. It's the general antenna or general TV, and then you have the other games on the app.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's fire, but we'll see. I do hope they get a new deal. I want them to get out of whatever deal that they are in right now because I don't know the intricacies of it, but all I do know is Caitlin Clark is coming, and that's all I'm gonna say to that. That's it. Caitlin Clark is coming, so y'all better come up and get right. Get these games televised nationally and get the money right. This is Bucket for Bucket podcast with Kayla and Kenny. Thank you for tuning in again. Sweet 16 does start later today. We will get this episode to you guys out as soon as possible, but please do hit that subscribe button. Follow me at ken.nysports on Instagram or at NYLFTV on Instagram to tune in. And Kayla, what you got for them?
I am Kayla. Thank you for tuning in. My Instagram is Woman Hoops, 2S at the end, Woman Hoops. Make sure to comment, DM us. You can always DM us with topics, ideas, things that you guys want to talk about or want to hear. We are all ears. We're open to any suggestions. This is our first episode. Hope you guys enjoy it. The first of many more. And thank you for tuning in.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.